This is the ultimate Five Nights at Freddy's gift guide for the holiday season. If you are shopping for a FNAF fan in your life, or if you are a FNAF fan and wondering what to put on your wish list this year, this video is for you. I feel like starting with the most obvious answer, which is of course going to be the games. The Five Nights at Freddy's games are available on pretty much every platform, so if you're buying the games for somebody else, you're definitely going to want to figure out if they're on the Switch, or if they're going to be on the PC, or if they're going to be on PlayStation. Personally, my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game is FNAF 4, but to be honest, if we're talking about which games are the most fun to play and the best bang for your buck, I would definitely recommend getting the Help Wanted games. Especially you or the person you're buying for is new to the Five Nights at Freddy's games, I feel like Help Wanted 1 is your best bet. Help Wanted 1 kind of has built into it the first few Five Nights at Freddy's games, as well as a ton of other super fun mini games. Now, the Help Wanted games are usually played in VR, but both Help Wanted 1 and 2 have flat modes, and as somebody who has played them both in VR and not in VR, I can say that it makes very little difference on the gameplay experience. Both are very fun. So if you or the person you're buying for doesn't have a VR headset, don't be deterred from getting Help Wanted. And obviously there are a ton of Five Nights at Freddy's games you can pick from. It doesn't have to be the Help Wanted games. That's just my personal recommendation. The next gift idea I have for the Five Nights at Freddy's fan in your life is of course going to be plushies. There are so many different Five Nights at Freddy's plushies to choose from. These Funko plushies, I got them from Hot Topic. Hot Topic is usually a good place to look for Five Nights at Freddy's plushies. I've also seen the Funko ones occasionally at other stores like GameStop, and there's always the option of going online. And if you're going to be shopping online, I really like the FNAF plushies from U2's. This is the U2's Glamrock Chica that I'm holding right now. And then I've also got the Roxy one, as well as the Healthy one, and the Sun and Moon reversible Jingle plushie. U2's also has these super cute little shoulder rider plushies, they're called. Basically, what you do is you just put the pillow under like your shirt at your shoulder, and then just put the plushie on there, and look at how perfect that is. And they've got so many of them that you can literally just like mix and match whichever one you want to wear. I've also seen that these U2's plushies for FNAF are starting to show up in more retail stores. For example, I've seen some of them in Hot Topic as well as Spencer's. So definitely keep an eye out for those plushies in the wild. Another FNAF plushie company that I absolutely adore, even though I only have one plushie from them, is the Hex plushies. I am just so obsessed with the quality and how adorable these ones are. Like, I love this so much. So yeah, you can never go wrong with FNAF plushies, trust me. Another FNAF gift option that you can get for the FNAF fan in your life, or if you are the FNAF fan, you can add to your Christmas list, is clothing. Again, I think the most popular location to get Five Nights at Freddy's clothing is probably going to be Hot Topic. They've got quite a few Five Nights at Freddy's graphic tees, as well as things like pajamas or jewelry and other apparel like that. I think Spencer's might also be a good option for this too. Maybe GameStop. Occasionally they have FNAF clothing at GameStop. And then of course you have the online stores as well, like Lumen or Cloak, but I will say that those sites in particular are definitely more pricey. And also sometimes they only do limited runs of the merch. They don't always have the FNAF merch available, so definitely just stay tuned on their social media as well as on their website. Check it occasionally to see what type of FNAF merch they might have in stock. And for the next gift, I definitely recommend the Five Nights at Freddy's movie on DVD. Streaming services can be so unreliable, especially if you don't have a VPN. I personally hate it when some of my favorite movies get taken off of my favorite streaming services. So I personally have started collecting DVDs again, and guys, you have to get the FNAF DVD. Right on the back of the DVD, it has some of the special features that you get just with the DVD copy. You don't get this on streaming services. At least I don't think you do. But yeah, you definitely can't go wrong with getting the Five Nights at Freddy's movie on DVD. And since we're talking about physical media as well as the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I definitely recommend the soundtrack on either vinyl or CD. The Five Nights at Freddy's vinyl record looks so freaking cool. Like, I need it so badly, especially since I'm somebody that collects video game soundtracks on vinyl records. This one is 100% on my wish list this year. And I know that not a lot of people listen to CDs anymore. I'm kind of dating myself by even recommending recommending you get a CD. But I still love CDs, okay? I have a very old car. I do not have the new tech that all of these new cars have where I can just listen to my music through it flawlessly. Sometimes I love having a CD, okay? And I love listening to soundtracks while I'm driving because it makes me feel like I'm in a movie, okay? Anyways, on to the next gift. A good gift idea for any Five Nights at Freddy's fan is 100% going to be a figure. You could get some of the Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pops, or also by Funko, you could get the Five Nights at Freddy's Mystery Minis. Each one of these little figures comes in a mystery box. You don't know which one you're going to get, so it's a bit of a gamble. But I think that these 10th anniversary Mystery Minis in particular are so freaking adorable. I love them so much. And if you can't find specifically the 10-year anniversary Mystery Minis, there are tons of other Mystery Mini packs out there as well. As long as they're Five Nights at Freddy's, they'll be great. And then some of the other figures that I really like are my U2's ones. I've got here with me my Vanny one, which yes, I did drop her at one point and her ear did fall off and I haven't glued it back. I kind of just place it and hope for the best every single time and I always forget that it's broken. And so that's why her ear just fell off the second I did that. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna put her down now and we'll focus instead on the marionette. I have a video actually unboxing this one as well as the puppet Funko Pop. So if you're interested in the puppet, you should check out those videos. Absolutely, you should. But yeah, U2's is it's another company that you can get these figures from. And we're just gonna put that back, balance it, and pretend that never happened. Okay, speaking of Funko Pops, I have also really been enjoying these, like, Biddy Pops. They're just really tiny little Funko Pops, and I think that they are so cute. I love collecting them. And then obviously there are action figures as well. I don't personally have any action figures of FNAF because I'm not really a fan of action figures in general. But if you or the FNAF fan in your life is obsessed with action figures, definitely add those to the list. Okay, this wasn't originally on my list, but I literally just looked behind me and saw my LED signs. So maybe consider a Five Nights at Freddy's LED sign. You can find stuff like this on Amazon or on Etsy. There's a ton of places that you can get Five Nights at Freddy's LED signs from. The next thing that I recommend on this gift guide is, of course, the Five Nights at Freddy's coloring book. I have been taking the pages of this coloring book and scanning them into my computer so that I can color with you guys on live stream. And honestly, coloring is so relaxing. It is so therapeutic. I love coloring so much. It is just so peaceful. And so yeah, this is just the perfect little arts and crafts gift for anybody who loves Five Nights at Freddy's. There's also another one. I think they came out with a glow-in-the-dark coloring book. I don't know how that works, but that sounds pretty cool. So yeah, get the coloring book. And then since we're on the topic of books, of course I have to mention the Five Nights at Freddy's novels. There are so many FNAF books, like more than I could probably count. I am so behind on actually reading these books, but if you have a FNAF fan in your life that you're buying gifts for, or if you're a FNAF fan and you want to get more into the stories, absolutely add these to the list. This book right here, Into the Pit, was recently made into a video game, and I think that they did mention wanting to make more games based off of these Fazbear Frights books. I think they talked about the next one being Fetch, possibly. I don't know if it's actually happening or not. I'm just going off of what I remember possibly reading online, but regardless, you absolutely should check out the Fazbear Frights books, or the Silver Eyes trilogy is a good place to start as well. And if you're not really a fan of reading actual novels and you would prefer to have a picture book, there's also a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's books that are turned into graphic novels. Personally, I didn't read Into the Pit in the actual novel before playing the game when it came out. But I did have the Fazbear Frights graphic novel collection volume 1, which has Into the Pit in it. So I read Into the Pit in this book instead of reading the dedicated novel to it. I still should go back and read the actual full novel, but I got the idea and the story from here. That was all I needed to go and then play Into the Pit. And then yeah, obviously one of the benefits of getting one of the graphic novels is they do come in a collection. There's multiple stories in this one book. And now the last thing on this gift guide is going to be the Five Nights at Freddy's cookbook. As you can see, I have bookmarked a few recipes in this book, and I actually am planning on doing some FNAF cooking videos soon. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss them. I think we're going to start with the pizza because obviously we have to start with making an official Five Nights at Freddy's pizza. And we're going to do it completely from scratch. We're going to make the dough fresh and everything. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. So if you or somebody that you know is really into cooking and also loves Five Nights at Freddy's, this is what you're going to want to get them. And that is it for me. Obviously, the world of Five Nights at Freddy's merch is ever growing, and there are a ton of other gift options within the Five Nights at Freddy's apparel. So if you think that I missed anything, please feel free to comment any other recommendations in the comments below. And if you end up using any of the ideas in this video to make your wish list or to buy for somebody else, definitely give this video a thumbs up. And that's pretty much it for me today, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, you can go now. You can go now. What are you waiting? Okay, go, bye.